Hello everybody, just looking here at the sky, the tracker, and pretty soon the distance right here from the sun. Right now. Okay, so it's reached 333,999 this million kilometers from the sun, and it's increased the speed at 64.5. Remember, this was projected from JPL and the observation minor planets. So this was projected to reach 67 when it gets to perihelion on the 29th. Thank you very much again for the 1,000. That means a lot. I had to record this. So it's still in Libra. This comet here, 2025 K1 Atlas, is back in Virgo at 11.5 magnitude. And the brightest is this one, 2025 A6 LEMMON, 9.8 at LYNX speed. Now, if it wasn't for 3i, this would be the one that I'd be focusing on, the brightest, these two. But since 3i is taking the spotlight because it's bien importante, so vamos a ver. That's the current location right there. NASA JPL still has it at 15.9. I'm going by that, by the way, because by now, if it was a regular comet, at this distance, there'd be no programmer to get for the amateurs out there to get a view. I mean, right now, see, there's where it's at. What I would do, guys, is take an image of Mars just to see, so people could see before you lose the curtain. The sun interferes because remember, Earth is moving in to the right, and then this will be obstructed. I think late September. I don't know the exact date, but this is the 10th right now. Let's see what else we got. I'm looking at planet alignments. Okay, let's take it to the 23rd. No, the 21st. The 21st. See what it looks like on the 21st. 21st, which is, I think is the Feast of Trumpet on the 21st. And let's see what we have here. I'm looking for, look how close it is to Mars. And I wonder if they updated this. Okay, look, the way it look, it's going to go above Mars. It's going to fly over Mars, just looking at this angle, just above it. Now we have the European and the Chinese and Mars reconnaissance all going to be taking images. But never forget, and I'm surprised nobody's mentioned this, that we have right here, let me put a good angle right here, zoom in, put the pointer out. Now this is just an estimate. I could be off on the exact location because this guy is taking the Spitzer spacecraft, which I've been harping on. Remember, I was harping on the Mars reconnaissance way before it even became news. So now we'll focus on the Spitzer. Think strategic. If you got some sort of possible, let's take scenario number 2. First one being it's just a comet. Second one is it's an alien spacecraft and possible invasion. Option 3 being it's just passing by, but it's ancient. Okay, but the Spitzer should be somewhere right here. So it says out of commission sleep mode. I provided a video already on it. It says on sleep mode, but if I just saw a video that reminded me, I think it was TCU, reminded me of the Voyager spacecraft that they were able to get signal way out of the solar system over there by the Oort cloud or beyond, and that was 1970 technology. Now with newer technology like the Spitzer, which was retired in 2020, somewhere around there, and they said they put it on sleep mode because it cost too much to maintain, and then they had the web that apparently having problem focusing. Spitzer should be right here, or here. I know it's on the other side of the orbital plane of Earth because it drifted. If they come up with, which they will, if I was their PR department, well, we can't get no signals because it's behind the sun. But yet we could do the Voyager when 1970 technology. Like I said, we have so many, I 100% believe they already have that. If it's a threat, believe me, they're going to throw everything at it. But are they going to tell the public? No. I would do what they're doing right now. damage control. You know what I mean? Keep it on the lid, because just pray that they're getting missed messages. I mean, they got their top dogs. I know they got remote viewers still in the agency, but all the other remote viewers that retired, that are independent, that are doing their thing, are saying that, well, you already saw what they're saying. I don't know how many I counted. Probably reaching 12, 13 different remote viewers that, remember, all they do is just give numbers like, we want you to remote view target longitude 1235 and longitude 321. Then you go into a cube, like a room, meditate, and then you write down what you see, and you go into a trance. These are people that have the gift of psychic abilities, seers, and there's probably one or two chosen ones in that mix also. And for the odds of all of them coming up with the same description, or basically almost the same, well, the one thing they do all have in common: underwater ruins, and people being connected. Each one has their different interpretation, but same images. But the Spitzer, getting back to the Spitzer, the blue line is Earth orbital plane, and I know they have to be doing this. There's no way they're not going to be able. Nobody's ever thought about this. Gee, what a good idea that Bedfather have. Let's try it out. Hey, is that thing working? So it'd be right there, right next, face to face. I mean, they could turn it back on. Spitzer is one of the best telescopes out there, in my opinion. I'm being prejudiced. You don't abandon a friend that for decades provided us in the comet world images, data. So let's say right there. Let's put it right here. Let's say if it was there. And the reason they turned it off is because of other reasons. We don't know what's behind the sun. There's rumors of this, that, legends of this, that, another planet, whatever, orbiting directly as we turn. It turns, it keeps it out of sight. So who knows? I can't believe you're going to turn off a $1 billion plus high tech, one of the best in my opinion, with great data, provides great data, magnetic field, like that 73p image, which, like this right here, when 73p broke apart back in, I can't remember, Spitzer sent us this image right here, and right there you can see when the dust started hitting, you can see the magnetic, I call it the railroad track. It was invisible until it broke apart and it left these fragments. So this is what the Spitzer could do. And this image, I'm going on recall, it was close by. So if the Spitzer could do this, imagine what it could do with 3i. Like example, this video right here. Now listen to this carefully.
The decision was made to bring Spitzer to a responsible end. On January 30th, spacecraft operators issued their final command to put Spitzer into safe mode. This mode powers down all non-essential systems and orients the solar panels towards the sun. Safe mode keeps the spacecraft in a powered hibernation state while waiting for a recovery command from Earth.
Waiting for a recovery command from Earth. In other words, it's on the other side of the orbital plane. I'll put a link to this video for those. Like I said, you haven't heard this, and I've been harping on this harp. I'm thinking about the Floridians, by the way. It's for some reason. I'm thinking about I inject comedy, folks, and I love cats. They're funny. I still believe they're ETs.
Only in this case, no such command will ever be sent. Spitzer will remain in this attitude, sleeping in its orbit around the sun.
Sleeping in its orbit around the sun. Well, let's wake it up. Matter of fact, if we were to look at Spitzer right now, we could wait. Let me, before I get there, before we take a look, let me go back just to remind people. All right, I found this cool. I was going to get to the data. I was going to point out just a Libra scale of justice, and there is no justice in my case, and millions and billions and millions of fathers, men, and that's why. And I pointed that out. We had 2 comments there. Let me get to the point that I want to show. I inject both social and comment and stories, ancient consolation. And it's sad what happened to that young lady. Real sad. So I'll go to the latest right here. So they're pumping this story. Imagine, I'll comment on that. Remember the speed. Okay. Yeah, there's so many breaking stories. This one about 3i Atlas, so many updates, how it shifted from reddish to green to, well, it was reddish first, and then it turned kind of like yellowish, and then the blue, remember the blue, and now green. So this is what they're saying now, green. So it's changing colors instantly, over and over and over. Other astronomers that are looking at it still see the reddish tone, reddish yellowish tone, and I'll make a video on that, about that, once I gather all the data to put it together. This takes a lot of work, guys, a lot of time to put these videos together. It's not as easy as you think. But getting back to the Spitzer,
after which the Earth will begin to catch up and will eventually lap Spitzer in its orbit around the...
Okay, so if we were to use the Spitzer, let's pretend. Oh, matter of fact, let's take it one step. I, using the Spitzer, can remote, using the Spitzer, remote the 3i Atlas, since it's in the orbital plane, and it can see Mars right now perfectly. Probably see the spacecraft orbiting Mars, you know, with the angle it has, you know, like perfect. In the military, we call it perfect shot. You got the perfect shot. It's positioned perfectly. You can't get any better position than this. So this is what the Spitzer is seeing through Vetfather's eyes. Why he's changing colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like Paul's, right? I mean, there's been a lot of image, and then that eye type structure. Other content creators has pointed this out, so that explains 1, 2, 3, 4 right there, and it changing colors. And since I'm going to get my new glass, my bifocal, since I'm having a cataract problem, so you could basically see the eye right here. So that's what the Vetfather sees through the eyes of Spitzer at this moment. It's doing a good job confusing the public. So that's what I see, guys. Eso son quien viene. Okay, you gotta laugh, folks, and I'll come back and try to come back with something else. So there it is. That's why it's changing colors rapidly. Doing a good job of camouflage, but the Vetfather could see right through the cloaking device and the distortion. I could see you perfectly. Okay. Cállate. You're gonna expose us. I'm sorry.